everyone, it's Sharonda from Pay Your Ways, and today I'm going to be reviewing Yellowjackets, episode 7, No Compass. So, going into this week's episode, I'm going to actually start with present day. And so we see that we pick up where the episode left off with Taissa, where she comes out of her trance and she kind of realizes what has happened, what she is doing. She goes into the bathroom, back into the house to wash the dirt and the blood from her hands. It looks like she bit herself. Those bite marks were really big and it kind of looked like human teeth bite marks. So we see that she's like crying as she's kind of getting herself back together. She gets a text from Natalie, who is like the most disrespectful human being ever, telling her to hurry the F up as they basically have to go meet the person that's blackmailing them to pay them the $50K. So we see that Natalie just stay talking ish every time she sees them. When Shauna and Taissa basically shows up, she was like, "Don't y'all understand like the purpose of hurry up?" And I was just like, "Ma'am, just close your mouth. Just have a seat, okay? Because you be doing the most." We see that they come up with this idea to do the tracker, which is pretty stupid because I was just like, why would you think somebody would fall for that? Also, too, we kind of learned throughout a conversation with Taissa and Shauna as they're waiting on Natalie to do the drop-off. We see that Ty basically says she paid for Natalie's rehab. And when Shauna was like, hey, why are you coddling her? Like, she has to figure this out on her own. She was just like, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. I guess alluding to Natalie has something to do with how these women were able to escape out of the wilderness. And so she ends up telling everyone that she is smashing Kevin. And but they're interrupted because this is when they see that the tracker's actually moving. And then Shauna was like, hey, like maybe I shouldn't drive because if I die, then nobody's gonna figure out who is actually behind this. And so they end up following the donation truck. Soon as they get there, like Natalie just jump out the car. She roll up on the truck driver, who I was like, hey cutie, cute boo, I hope you ain't got nothing to do with it because you cute. And so while she like pulls the gun up on him, and not Natalie, but Taissa and Shauna are trying to stop her, we see that the actual person that's involved runs away with the bag, and they basically take off chasing them. Ty ends up tackling the person, but they end up punching her in the face, and then they almost get away, and I thought they weren't going to get away because they ran into the glitter and fell out again, but they end up getting away. He gets off in his car. Natalie tries to shoot the person, but they stop her from doing it. And then she was like, I wasn't going to kill him. And I was like, bitch, so why was you shooting it? Because, like, I don't understand. You talk about, I wasn't going to kill him. What was you going to do? Shoot him in the knee or something? It just didn't make any sense. And I was happy that Natalie actually read Ty and Shauna, because they try to put on this front that they have everything together, that everything's in check. But they're really, like, struggling just like everyone else in this series. And she feels like they're not trying to see like what happened to Travis. Like, he was there with us. Like, I don't understand what is up with y'all. But what I do know is that Shauna needs to get Adam in check. He's very reckless. When she comes back home, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. This fool is sitting outside, like standing outside the truck, waiting for her when she comes home at her house. And I said, baby, where is your husband and your daughter? Now, she mentions that the daughter wasn't there, but I said, what is Jeff doing at 4 a.m.? Because y'all sitting up here talking about y'all don't think that Jeff is cheating on her. Why are you still gone at 4 a.m.? That just don't make any sense whatsoever. So she tries to check Adam, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you showing up to my house like this? This is very reckless. And then he was just like, girl, don't act like you don't want this D. That ain't what he said, but that was basically what he was saying. Then they end up smashing. She tried to, like, put on that tough girl act. And then, he, like, got right through to her. They end up smashing. I was like, girl, you being real reckless. You gonna smash him in your house, in your bed? So then she wakes up and falls asleep. You can't fall asleep with nobody in your bed and you married. Have it make sense, Shauna. Have it make sense. So she ends up, her husband comes home. She hides Adam in the closet. Then she convinces her husband goes to go take a shower, and she basically sneaks him out of the house. I was confused why Adam was trying to have a conversation with her when her husband left to go take a shower. I was like, sir, why are you talking? The water not running yet? Like, why do you feel so comfortable? Something ain't right with Adam. Something not right with Adam. I don't know what it is, but something ain't right. I feel it in my spirit. Something is not right with him. So we see that Natalie ends up sneaking back home after all of this transpires. She gets back into bed with Kevin, And Kevin wakes up and realizes that his gun has been tampered with, and he asks her about it. She makes up a story which sounds almost convincing, but he was just like, I don't believe you whatsoever. I have to account for all my bullets. And he was like, I thought we actually had something. And then basically Natalie does what any trouble character does. They push the people they care about away. When she makes a comment about how she thought the high school crush was cute, and now she was just like, it's pathetic. And so he was like, girl, F you hoe, and left. And I was like, right, Kevin, because you too fine to be sitting up here taking all of that from Natalie of all people. So let's go to Misty Crazy Behind. So Misty still has a camera in her hotel room. So she was spying on Kevin while he was asleep, which I would have been doing too. So I actually wasn't even mad at Misty about that in the first place. We see that she goes downstairs because the reporter kept screaming, and she tells her to tell the truth. And then the reporter's like, okay, well, your haircut is unflattering. And I was like, ma'am, I was laughing, but I was like, Misty's too crazy. Don't do that with her. Don't do that. Don't do that. So we see that, actually, side note, they show like While You Were Sleeping, this movie is Sandra Bullock and Bill Pullman, and I love that movie. Was it Bill Pullman? Yeah, it was Bill Pullman, and then the brother was played by Peter, and I can't think of his last name, but I actually like that movie. Y'all should watch it if you haven't seen it. She ends up telling Misty that Ty's lawyer basically hired her to go talk to the people involved in the crash to see if any of them would talk in case it would ruin Ty's chances with her campaign. And then she says that she knows that Travis was murdered because she went to go talk to Travis as a part of this investigation that she was paid to do. And then he ended up dead. And after that, someone took the money out of his account. So she's assuming whoever did that and closed his bank account was the person that actually killed him. She says she won't give her any more information because then she has leverage. And she tries to convince Misty, like, hey, we could work together. You can let me go. And Misty was like, how many of your kidnappers have, like, what happened to your last kidnapper? And she was like, they lived happily ever after. And then she like smiled and she slapped the mess out of the reporter. And I guess that was her way of politely saying, hell to the no. Okay. So that's all with Misty right now. We did see that she threatened her. Misty's crazy. She threatened to send the reporter's father, chocolate desserts with fentanyl in it to kill her dad. I was just like, ma'am, you are crazy. Why are you so crazy, Misty? But we see with the backstory of the teens and what happened while they were actually there, we see that Ty has this crazy plan still to leave. And the girls are basically not with the idea. She was like, I'm gonna leave in an hour. Y'all figure out what y'all want to do. I was like, bye, Trick. Bye-bye. Go ahead and do what you want to do on your little Suicide Squad mission. Lottie ends up finding the bone in the dead deer that they burned, and she realizes that the bone actually didn't get burned. And then she asks, like, why didn't she tell everyone about her dream? And she was just like, nah, I just didn't feel like it. Ty ends up cutting her hair for what reason? I have no idea. Ty obviously got her own issues going on. But then Van, her little boo thing, tells her that she's coming with her. And two other girls who I have no idea who they are. I know y'all probably tell me in the comment section below. They said that they were going as well. And we see that Travis is actually wanting to go with them. He like, well, the girls need my protection. I was like, they don't need your protection, but do what you do, because Natalie was clearly a better shot than you. But we see that Natalie ends up telling that she doesn't want to go. She cares about him. And Lottie ends up giving Van the bone and tells Van about the dream that she had, which we see later in the episode actually starts to come to fruition. Misty had me dying when she went to Ben and was like, Ben, I have to go. Don't try to stop me. I said, B, she ain't trying to stop you. He do not like you. And I was laughing at how Ben was just like, oh, I can't wait for this hoe to leave. I cannot wait. The girls are laughing at her, and then she was like, stay strong. I'm coming back for you. Ben was like, please let her get killed, because I do not want her coming back to haunt me. Jackie confronts Shauna because she can tell that something is going on with her, but she won't actually tell her what's going on. And after pressing her, she ends up telling her that she is pregnant, but she lies and says that someone else besides Jeff is actually the father. While we cut back to the Suicide Squad, which is Van and the two girls I don't know and Ty on their little death mission, we see that they start talking about horror films and like, this is the part where this would happen. And then when they ask the question, like, why do black characters die? And I was like, because of racism, duh. Like, come on now. Natalie and Travis, they start getting it on in the boom boom room. Everything going good, okay? And then he started acting weird, and I was like, hold on, I think he can't get it up. I mean, I don't know what that means, but you know, from what people have told me, because if our parents are watching, I'm a virgin, he couldn't get it up. And so that's what I assume from what other people have told me about their experiences. And of course, he actually couldn't get it up. And he gets all upset, and he puts his clothes on and leave. And I was just like, sir, what is going on with you? Like, what is happening? I was just like, ugh, he got on my nerves. He really got on my nerves with that. So Jackie is asking Shauna more questions, like about her first time, what's she gonna do about the pregnancy? And then Jackie was like, the math not mathing with this. Like the story that she gave her, she was like, that don't make sense. So Jackie started to find a discrepancy within her story. She's looking at her crazy like, I know this bitch still lying to me. So Shauna ends up catching Travis's little brother going through her stuff, and he says he needs the hunting knife. And she was like, what for? And he was like, for an art project. I said, bitch, what art project you doing with a hunting knife? Like, I was just really confused. And the way Shauna was like so consumed with her whole pregnancy and trying to hide her damn diary that she just gave him the knife. I was just like, just Ben, where's the supervision? Okay. So we see that the Suicide Squad starts seeing parts of Lotte's dream actually come to fruition. Ty ignores it. Van tries to say maybe we should go back since all of this stuff is actually happening. And then Ty went off on her. It was like, if you want to go back, you can go back, but I'm staying. I was like, dang, ho, like, you didn't need to get that upset. You didn't need to get that crunk. But we see that later on in the episode, the Suicide Squad, they reach a point where they want to rest. And then Ty tried to give him a speech, and Van was like, baby, save the speech for somebody who cares, because I don't give a damn. Stop it. And I was just like, yeah, Ty, you've been doing it most the whole time. Now you want to give an inspirational speech like you Bill Pullman from Independence Day. And so we see that she says she's going to end up taking watch. And then, of course, she go into her little trance thing in the damn tree, wakes up to hearing screams because, you know, they was telling the stories and stuff at the campfire. Everything was good until they actually heard the wolves howling. And, of course, when she wakes up, there's a pack of wolves that have tried to attack them. She asks where Van is. There's a wolf that is actually mauling her at that moment. Ty goes to help her. She ends up killing the wolf. However, when she rolls Van's body over, the wolf is taking part of her face off. Van is now dead. And so then I was just like, you stupid hoe. Now, if you would have just listened to your boo thing and went back to the damn camp in the first place like she told you to, you wouldn't be in this damn predicament. But we see that Van ends up being attacked. We see after that, you know, the episode kind of goes off, but we see that Jackie actually reads Shauna's diary. So I want to know, I need to see what's going to happen. What's the fallout going to look like? What's going to happen? I need all of the answers for it. But this episode was fine. I think I still preferred last week's episode more than this episode. But I want to know what's going on with Adam. I want to know what's going on with Jeff, because I don't trust either one of them. What the hell is happening with Misty? Because I don't know if she was just trying to play the lady, like, hey, I know you're the one behind this one, but I don't know what's happening at this point now. I'm still a little confused about Misty, but I would love to know what your predictions and conspiracy theories are in the comment section below. But those are my thoughts on Yellowjackets episode 7, No Compass. As always, my name is Sharana from Payroll Waits, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again, bye.